we'll just come back to you. Amrish Baliga also joins in right now, Managing Partner, Edelweiss Global Wealth. Amrish, last week has been, particularly, you could say a little dicey at this point because of measures obviously that were taken. Banks were knocked out of shape. You had a heavy profit-taking session on expiry day after that run-up back above 6,000. So it's becoming a little difficult to gauge. Expectations from the RBI tomorrow are also coming off with regards to what they can do. So what's your sense into how you could position yourself?
In fact, we've been cautious for quite a while, and even when the markets were moving up, I was saying possibly it's time to book out to a certain extent. And clearly, I think Nifty is a misnomer. I don't think it really represents the mood on the market, because even when you had the Nifty moving towards 6,100 levels, I think most of the portfolios were bleeding. And now it's still worse off with most of the banks which were there in people's portfolios also really taking a knock. So I suppose even going ahead, I see the Nifty drifting, and again, there's hardly any place to hide. I'm talking of, even debt, where people had invested, they're losing out there. Gold is not going anywhere. Property prices are not really going anywhere. So, people are in fact preferring to hold on to cash and not really invest. So again, if you're talking of the markets, still I see the markets going down further, possibly more towards 5,100 than towards 61 or 62.
Sure. So how would you, take a look at banks right now? With the Bank Nifty breaching crucial levels on the downside, and also now with the kind of pressures that they are facing with the measures that the RBI has put out, does it mean that there could be more downgrades for banks, or probably the worst has been factored in for them?
No, I don't think the worst is still factored in, because what we have just about started seeing is like the NPAs have started moving up. I think with a sort of a slowdown which we are seeing in the economy, the credit offtake is not there, and with the rate hike, clearly I think you will have more NPAs going ahead. And earlier at least we had seen that the private sector banks were somehow not really too affected by the NPAs, but the latest quarter shows that the NPAs are rising for even the private sector. So overall I think the banks, the pain is still there, and I would say the pain will be there for the next couple of quarters.
Okay, got that. Just stay on with us, Amrish. We've got opening there on your screens. So the Nifty on your screens down 0.25%, Sensex down 0.1%. Few stocks opening up. You've got Tata Power up 1%. That's your top performer, followed by HDFC Limited up 1%. NMDC up 0.6%, NTPC up 0.5%, Ambuja Cements up 0.5%, Infosys up 0.5% at 29.29, Ultratech is up 0.5% at 18.74. Then you've got Bharti Airtel up 0.5% at 3.38. Hindalco is up 1/4. IndusInd Bank is up 1/4, that's at 421. Kane India is at 304. Tata Motors 290, that's marginally higher. These are numbers right now that are coming in. Amongst the gainers in all on the Nifty, 20 stocks in the green versus 30 in the red. Worst performer on the Nifty is Jayaprakash Associates, that's down 4%, 39.5 on the stock. Hindustan Unilever 2%. We spoke about the slew of downgrades that have come in on the counter. DLF, that's down right now 1.9%. Coal India down 1.5%. Remember, we were talking about it on Friday sessions. Syndicate Banks down 4%. BGR Energy Systems down 4%. Then you've got IRB Infrastructure down 4%. Pfizer's down 4%. Motilal Oswal Financial Services down 4%. Allahabad Bank is down 4%. So again, banks and financial space looks weak. United Breweries is down 3.5%. M&M Financial Services, that's 221. LIC Housing Finance 183. So big cuts coming into some of these names. Financial Tech was down 9% on Friday, down 3% today. Canara Bank, Bajaj Electricals, Thomas Cook, Educomp are all lower in the session. Some stocks which are doing okay. Spoke about Jet Airways. Then you've got India Cements up 6%. Then you've got the likes of Torrent Pharma, UB Holdings is up 3.5%. Reddington, GSW Energy, Gammon Infra, these are some of the gainers, but the list is limited in terms of the gainers. Losers, the list is quite exhaustive there. We'll come back to these prices, we'll keep taking a check on them, but that's the broader market opening for you that we've got. Ashish Chaturmutha also joins in right now. Ashish, a quick look at the index.
Yeah, Devin, if you look at index, the way the kind of correction we have seen below 59.50, I think we may see some more dips till 58.50 around those levels. I think first strong support comes around, and if it breaches 58.50, then definitely a further correction could not be ruled out. But looking into the overall structure and the kind of open interest distribution options, it suggests that 58.50, 58.70 is a crucial support level, and on upside now 59.50 in a short term will act as a strong resistance. So I think market will remain in a very strong range bound move, and I don't think immediate upside or downside is possible, but definitely stock specific I think moves will continue. Like in auto space, we like Bajaj Auto, Hero MotoCorp and Mahindra and Mahindra, where I think strong upside is possible. So I think taking a view on stock will be more safer bet at this point of time rather than taking a directional view on Nifty.
Let's get through some of your ideas at this point, Ashish.
Yeah, I think M&M looks quite strong. The stock has formed a very strong base around 870 to 900 levels, and I think now 880 becomes a very strong support in a shorter term, so one can keep a stop below that level. And on upside, we are expecting the stock to test somewhere around 940, 950 in next 5 to 7 trading sessions. The same is the case with Bajaj Auto. Now the stock has given a weekly breakout above 1980 levels with a very strong volume participation. So I think this is one stock where upside till 2100 to 2150 is quite likely. One can initiate a stop a long position with a stop below 1845 in Bajaj Auto. Again, Hero MotoCorp looks good for a 4 to 5% upside from current levels. As far as other index counters are concerned, Reliance is one counter which is looking quite strong. So I think if Reliance manages to hold above 875, 880 levels, then a possibility of 950, 970 in a shorter term is quite high.
Let's talk about Coal India, Ashish. I mean, last week's close was, something that the stock has never seen. So it's clearly in uncharted territory right now. How would you play it?
Yeah, definitely. If you look at Coal India, it has broken almost 2-3 years, 2.5 years low, and it has broken after a very strong consolidation around 300 levels. It has broken these levels. So I think definitely more pain is going to be there in the stock, and I think on downside 255, 260 would be the level where I think the stock can come. One should avoid any kind of bottom fishing at these levels. Let's see whether it stabilizes around 260 and forms some kind of consolidation around those levels. But as of now, I think definitely 5 to 7-8% downside is possible from current levels.
Amrish, what did you make out of Wipro numbers? And then on Wednesday, you got HCL Tech numbers getting reported. So what is your expectation there?
Wipro, in fact, although the numbers are slightly lower than what we expected, but I think the projections are much better and more or less in line, and I would say slightly better. So clearly, I think this stock will have a run up, but may not be too much more from here. HCL Tech, again, as usual, what we have seen in the past couple of quarters would surely surprise on the positive. So that's IT stock where we have decent hopes.
Okay. Anything else that you're specifically watching out for, Amrish?
No, in fact, since we are looking at the markets drifting down, we are not really suggesting people to make fresh investments at this point of time. But still, among the other stocks, what we are recommending right now to hold or maybe buy in small lots is Reliance Industries, where I think most of the issues are out of the way, especially as far as gas pricing is concerned. And the other stock in the pharma space, where we are recommending Sun Pharma. In fact, again, consistent performance in the past couple of quarters, and hopefully, going ahead, we still have a decent visibility on this stock. We had a target of about 1340. Now, possibly post bonus, it should be about 670.
Okay. Let's talk about HUL, ITC, and the FMCG pack as a whole. Do you agree with regards to the kind of downgrades that HUL is seeing?
Yeah, absolutely. Because the stock, the way it had moved up, even especially post open offer, I think it had become too expensive by any standards. And again, if you have the economy slowing down, you really can't have discretionary spends going up. And basically, discretionary spends is where HUL actually makes a higher margin than the other products which actually sell in the rural areas. So with the discretionary spends going down, I really don't see HUL really performing over the next couple of quarters, because this time at least they have held out of the margins, increased it a bit, but going ahead clearly I see margin pressure. So these price levels you really can't justify. So even at the current levels, we are saying it's possibly a sell.
Okay, Ashish, what about HUL for you?
I think in a shorter term, yes, definitely some more weakness could be seen, because in last 4-5 trading sessions we have observed a build-up of short position in the stock. So definitely I think some more downside of 4 to 5% is possible in Hindustan Lever. So maybe around 620 could be the possible level which could be seen in the stock on downside. But if you look at ITC, it is showing a very good strength. So I think this is one stock which will continue its uptrend. Apart from that, Colpal is one counter, Colgate is one counter, where I think again 4 to 5% upside is possible from current level. So I think going long in ITC and Colpal will make sense at this point of time, and booking profits or exiting longs in Hindustan Lever makes a sense at this point of time.
Okay. Jet Airways, Amrish, today and Friday were big days for Jet. With now things looking like they could progress a little faster with the FIPB decision today.
Yeah, it seems that the decks are set for, basically the decision to be positive for Jet. But at the same time, I think, based on that expectation, it's already moved up. Unless you have an open offer, there is nothing really much for the, shareholders as such, the public shareholders, and that's not going to happen. So I really don't see much of an upside from here, possibly either 2-3% more.
Ashish, do you track Wockhardt?
Yeah, definitely. If you look at Wockhardt, it crossed around in 2008 the levels of around 570 levels, and tested almost 2100 levels, and again back to those 560, 570 levels. So clearly a reversal of the trend is there, and I don't think that any bottom fishing should be done just because it is at the same level. So definitely the story has changed, and there is a clear reversal in the chart patterns. So I think clearly one should avoid the counter. Definitely after such a fall, and because it has come to the same breakout level, lot of people will try to cover their positions or try to again buy the positions, which can lead to a 7-8% rally in a single day or a next 2-3 trading sessions. But that will be clearly a sell on rise rally. So one should clearly avoid the counter at this point of time.
All right, including today, almost 60% shaved off for Wockhardt in the last 10 trading sessions. So the stock has seen a heavy knock post the US FDA warning letter that it got. The concern for Valuj mainly factor in, but for the other two plants with regards to the inspection, what happens there, that's now starting to weigh down. What's your take on what's happening there, Amrish?
I think for most of the pharma companies, I think that's one of the major worry points, and that's exactly what you have seen also happening in Ranbaxy to a certain extent, and it's possible that it could happen to some of the other pharma stocks. So I think one needs to be extremely careful as far as the ethics of the pharma companies are concerned. And from that point of view, in fact, we have narrowed down our choice in the pharma space. Like I said, Sun Pharma clearly is one of our picks, and the other one is Dr. Reddy and Lupin. I think beyond these 2 or 3, we are really not recommending anything else in the pharma space.
Got that. Amrish, thanks very much for joining us, as well as Ashish. Really appreciate your views and opinions here. We have to take that break right now, but the market's still looking a little skittish in today's session. We're down 0.25% on the Nifty.